Assalamu alaikum to all my dear students. Here is your mathematics teacher Amara in your mathematics class of grade 4. Dear students, our today's topic is about addition of fractions with like and unlike denominators. As we know that when we have the same denominators in the fractions, they are called as like fractions. And when we have different denominators in the fractions, they are called unlike fractions. And my dear students, when we have the like fractions, it's very much easy to solve or to add the fractions. But whenever we have the unlike fractions, then we cannot add, we cannot subtract. We need to convert unlike fractions into like fractions, and then we can add or subtract. So let's recall your memory and recall about the like fractions. The fractions which have the same denominators are called like fractions. As you can see in the example, 3 upon 2, 5 upon 2 and 7 upon 2. All these three fractions are having the same denominator. So, we call it as like fractions. And what are unlike fractions? Yes, dear students. Unlike fractions are the fractions which have unequal or different denominators. For example, 1 upon 2, 1 upon 3 and 1 upon 5, they all have the different denominators, so we call them as unlike fractions. My dear students, now let's learn the steps for addition of fractions. As you know that when we learn the steps of every method, then it will be very easy for us to solve the questions in mathematics. So, the steps for addition of fractions are very simple steps. In the first step, make sure the bottom numbers means the denominators are same. As already I told you that we cannot add or we cannot subtract unlike fractions. We need to convert them into like fractions. We need to make their denominator same, then only we can add the fractions. In the second step, add the top numbers, numerators and write the answer over the same denominator. Yes, if you have the like fractions, so you can write the denominator once and you can add the numerators of the given fractions and denominator will be same in the answer. My dear students, remember this thing that denominator will be same. We cannot add denominators, we need to add only numerators. In the third step, simplify the fraction if needed. As in our previous classes, I told you that how you can simplify a fraction by dividing the fraction, how we can reduce it in its lowest term. Dear students, always remember what we do to the bottom means denominator of the fraction, we must also do to the top number, that is numerator. Now let's learn through examples that how we can do the addition of fractions step by step. We have one example, that is 1 upon 4 plus 1 upon 4. So dear students, can you tell me that are the denominators same? Yes, here the denominators are same. So it means they are like fractions, and when we have like fractions, we can add them easily. So according to the first step, we need to write the fractions again. The bottom numbers mean the denominators are already same, so we need to go straight to step 2. And step 2 is we need to plus the numerators. So numerator will be 1 plus 1 is equals to 2. In the second example, you can see that the denominators are not same. One fraction has 3 as the denominator and the second fraction has 6 as the denominator. So it means they are unlike fractions. So we need to make them the same before we can continue, because we can't add them like this. We need to convert them into like fractions. So how we can convert them? Yes, we know that the number 6 is twice as big as 3. So to make the bottom number same, we can multiply the numerator and denominator both of the first fraction by 2, because easily we can make the denominator of the first fraction as 6. And we know that when we multiply 3 by 2, we can get the number as 6. So we know that 1 times 2 will be 2 and 3 times 2 will be 6. As my dear students, always you have to remember that what you are doing with the denominator, you have to do the same thing with the numerator. So, what is the second step now? You can see, according to the first example, we have the same denominator. So, at the top numbers means the numerators, and we have to write the answer over the denominator. Dear students, again I am telling you that the denominator will be same. We cannot change the denominator. In the second example, where we were not having the same denominators, we first changed the denominator same by multiplying the first fraction by 2. So now the new fractions we get as 2 by 6 plus 1 by 6. Now we need to add the numerators and we have to write the answer over the same denominator. In the third step, we need to simplify the fraction. As you know that after adding the first example, we get 2 upon 4 and easily we can simplify it because there is a number 2 that can divide the numerator and denominator both. So finally we get 1 upon 2. For the example 2, after addition we got 3 upon 6, and here also for the simplification we can divide the numerator and denominator both by 3 and we get the answer as 1 upon 2. My dear students, you can solve one more example and you can change the denominators because we need to make the same denominator, and the example that we have in front of us, it is unlike fractions. Okay? Yes. So, as you know that in the previous classes we had discussed many methods to make the denominator same. So, here you can multiply first fraction by the second denominator and the second fraction by the first denominator. So 1 times 5 will be 5 and 3 times 5 will be 15. 1 times 3 will be 3 and 5 times 3 will be 15. Now you can see that we have the same denominators. So we can add their numerators. 5 plus 3 is equals to 15. My dear students, here is no number that can divide both 8 and 15. So we cannot simplify the fraction. It's okay to not know, but it's not okay to not try. So I hope now, my dear students, they will practice for more questions. Thank you, my dear students. Take care. Allah Hafiz.